Are you ready for this moment? Goodbye sailing vessel Tate. Hello sailing vessel Limonada. 4 years ago I crewed on other people's boats across the Pacific Ocean and learned the basics of sailing. After I had to stop building my cabin in Spain last year, I decided to return back to the ocean.
Since recently we have our own small boat in Guatemala, it turned out to be a bit more of a lemon than expected, and we are now transforming the boat into lemonade.
Or limonada.
And step by step we are getting closer to sail the Caribbean and eventually the rest of the world together.
The wind just picked up, which is good because I really still want to do a man overboard exercise. There are different ways people do man overboard exercises, but in our situation it's important that we both have limited sailing experience. She has very limited or actually no sailing experience, so a figure 8 I'm not even gonna start doing that. There is not a third person to point, it's just us. On our life vest we will carry a light, which at this moment we don't have yet. So when man overboard has been shouted, there we go. You're gonna be the man overboard. Man overboard. She will first put a pointer on the iPad, on the GPS system. Tack to the other direction. Then she will tack and put the helm all the way, well, depending on which side it is. If she goes to starboard, she'll put the wheel all the way to starboard, lock it so that the boat goes in circles and doesn't move forward anymore. This way. Okay, now the main sheet, tighten it. The main sheet, tighten the main sheet. Good. Okay, now wait, just calm down. Look for the... Okay, we're gonna stop. The boat's gonna stop now. Relax. Okay, we're almost stopping. And you're doing a good job because there is the man overboard. Keep looking at it. Now, take in the head sail. Just release it. No, release it all the way. Alright, take the head sail in. Good. Good. Look at the man overboard. Is it still close to you? Okay. Now go to the main sail, drop it. Relax, relax, relax. Just drop it all the way. Yeah. We're just gonna leave it. Start the engine. Relax, relax, keep breathing. Do you still see the man overboard? And motor towards the man overboard. Give a bit of gas. Okay. Steer towards the man overboard. Good, look at that. Closer. No, missed it. Okay, we missed the man overboard. We're gonna do a big circle and then go closer. That's fine, relax. We're getting there. Nice job. How was that? Good first practice. how are you doing? First heel over this much. Scared? Today Keith's going to explain to me how I should examine my turnbuckles.
Yeah, basically it's all your standing rigging, right? So we know you've replaced all of your chain plates, so that's good. And we looked at all the bulkheads around and used bolts, and so that's all good. But now you're looking to really, is this connections, are these all good? And then you want to do the same thing to the connections of the mast, which is called the tang, and make sure that those connections and the fasteners to the mast are in good shape, as well as the tang, the bracket itself. And really the only tools you're going to use is a wire brush, some sandpaper, a magnifying glass, and then some really cheap, the cheaper the better, like tissue paper. This is used to check the actual wire itself. A lot of different opinions on this. I'm of the opinion that wire is not the most likely part to fail. However, you do want to check it, and what you're looking for is, are there any tears in it? So there's a little bit of tear there. So let's try again and see if it does it without a lot of pressure. That's what's causing it right there. I can see it. So you got a little tear right here, which is just actually probably some slight pitting. So there's a little bit of damage on it, but not much. And then you'd take this, and then afterwards you come back and check it and see if it's still there. And now you're going to smooth all the way up and down. And so you're basically looking, if the tissue paper ever gets caught on this, then you know it's ripped and you might need to look at replacing your wiring. Otherwise, you're good on that. Unfortunately, you got to do that all the way up on the whole wire.
Okay.
So you got to get someone to help you be able to do that. That might be a better job done at the heart. Anyways, and then you got a magnifying glass. You can look at this too, and if there's any real issues, you look across it and see, is there any pitting? You're looking for pitting like small black holes.
Okay.
And then you do the same thing across all of the stainless turnbuckle and the fittings all the way down, and you're looking for cracks. There's going to be a lot of scratches on it, and if you got something that you think looks like potentially, you can look right here, Hoop, if you can see. I don't know if you can see that or not, but right there, see that scratch right there? And we want to just make sure that right there is just a scratch and not actually a crack that goes into. And so what you would do is you would sand away at it. And eventually this crack would get less. So I would say this is probably a scratch and not a crack. You can use a dye penetrant if you want to, which is where you take and you put something on and it's got a catalyst that causes it. If it's a crack, it'll inject into it. It's not that expensive, but it's pretty complex to use it.
Okay.
If you know how you're using it. But I think for now, I would not be too worried about these, given the fact that we know they had a rough life. I don't see any cracks. I see a fair bit of scratching, but they all look surface and superficial. The other areas you want to check really good is where it's probably most likely to fail, which is the fitting from the cable to the actual fitting at the end of it that then hits to the turnbuckle. And this, I believe, is a Norseman that's got the ability to be mechanically adjusted with basically just 2 wrenches. Probably at the top you have a different connection, which is probably a machine pressed on fitting.
Yeah.
A lot of sailors do this because then they can change this if they need to. You can't change that one up at the top. But this area right here where the wire goes in is the area that's susceptible if water pools in here and it's inferior stainless and or it's under heavy loads. This can start to get damaged. So what you want to do is you would take a wire brush, and you see how there's all this brown and dirt right here? we don't really care about that. Rust doesn't really have much of a concern for good quality 316 stainless like this. So as long as you can just scrape it away, you say, okay, that's good. What you don't want to see here after you scrape it away is any black. Black basically indicates that the stainless is rotting from the inside. So rust on stainless, as opposed to rust on most metals, you think it's got cancer. It's, you know, basically got to cut it out, got to replace it. Rust on stainless, you can usually just sand away. Black is an indication that it is the quality of the stainless is degrading and it's basically rotting out.
Yeah, we saw black on the chain plate that broke.
Yeah, that would have been exactly right. And then afterwards, you just put the microphone or the magnifying glass back on it, and you're basically looking for that exact same thing. And I don't see any on that one. So I would say this one is, it's good. I don't think you need to worry about this. This is not the thing I'd be worried about.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Good morning. It's still really early now, and I'm enjoying my last view in about a month on the water, because we are going to haul out the boat in, like, I think an hour. Yeah, that's kind of exciting, because I hope everything will go right, and then we will have like a really tough month on the hard with no wind, no water, hard work, but it's all worth it. And then we are getting closer to be able to leave this country and go to the rest of the Caribbean.
Just put up the anchor. We're going to re-anchor now. We stayed over there, and the marina we're going to haul out over there. Previously we actually anchored over there, but it's not very peaceful, because there are so many of those lanchas, those transportation boats. So all the time you're going like this. Yeah, I'm a tiny bit nervous. I've crewed on a lot of people's boats for a year, but I've never docked a boat. And now I'm not gonna dock it. I'm gonna actually have to motor it at the exact spot where they're gonna haul it out. So yeah, it's the first for everything. It's a beautiful day here in the Rio. Luckily, no sun. I say luckily because the sun can get really hot here. Captain is steering the boat. We're getting more and more a team to do this together. Are you itchy?
Yeah.
Welcome to the tropics. First to the office, check in, and then haul out. In the last video we took a day off, and then I told you guys that we just can't do things like buy cappuccinos for $4, because that's just not, if we start to do that, then this lifestyle will be over really fast. However, then after I saw that, a bunch of you guys actually bought us a cappuccino, so I'm going to surprise her over there now with a cappuccino. It's hot, so let's make it a frappuccino. Honey, yeah? Can you come here for a second? I got something for you. A frappuccino. Oh, I'm floating away. Take my hand.
Oh my god.
Thank you, viewers, for this.
Oh, yes.
Is it good? Docking lines are ready. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. We have to go in between that grey and that white boat over there. And your task will be to throw the front lines, and if we get too close to another boat, you can use this. It's actually used for mooring, but we can use it to push us a little bit away from the other boats.
Look at these little birds. They're keeping us company like almost every day. Oh, there's only one now. Yeah. Mostly there are more. Oh, they're coming.
This is Guatemala. 9 AM is going to become 2:30 PM. So first we're gonna go to the store. Nate from Kara and Nate was diagnosed with skin cancer, so I'm always in the sun and I don't want to take too much risk, so we're buying long sleeve shirts. This is a second-hand shop and it's really good, especially when you're my length, because in normal clothing shops also it's very difficult to find clothing that I fit, especially shoes, and it's cheaper. Nice hat, love it. This is when you see someone walking like this through a shop, it's generally Dirkje. I actually really like this one, Harry Potter and Super Mario, but Dirkje did not. Oh, is that your new work shirt?
Yes, what do you think? I really like it. And look at my new shoes. Like, you pay in the Netherlands 120 euros for this and I paid 5. And for this whole bag, like with this is my new sales shirt. I find it really cute. My new hats. And this, ah shit. And this is like an expensive brand actually, Hollister.
And how much did you pay for the whole bag?
I paid, and this is a new working pants. I pay and a new working hat, and I think this is too nice for working. With a cute elephant on it. More like an Indian kaftan like.
How much you paid for it?
Less than 20 euros.
22 bucks.
Yeah.
This is a date. I can hear you.
Okay, so it's easy. Now I can see why you were confused. Yes, you are going to the opposite side where the catamaran is.
I knew she said it incorrect. She said between the two gas stations, that's a different entrance, and the current is pretty strong right now because it's the afternoon. So, and there are boats next to it, and I don't want to hit another boat because that's not good. Filming and being nervous at the same time is sometimes a bit of a pain in the butt. So they're waiting for me. We're gonna throw them a line. I'm going in very slow. Are you ready for this moment? Putting blocks under the keel. That's the only part I cannot paint, and I have to quickly paint before they're putting it back into the water when they're hauling it out, when they're hauling it up again. If you're wondering what a haul out costs, it's $250 for the haul out and $250 per month, and you can do the work yourself if you want, and which we'll do. Do you want to come up to Peter Pan's pirate boat flying in the air? Good morning. It's 6:30 in the morning. The sun is already getting out. Let's wash and then see how it looks like. I already see some spots that's gonna need some attention. I'm not exactly sure how, but let's start with washing. First side of the hull is clean. According to many people that walk by, she's actually still looking pretty good, especially for her age, so that's good to hear. What are you doing?
Trying to take it.
Are you getting it off?
Yeah.
The red?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. One of the advantages of this boat, it's an Elberg 30, and in its time it was quite a famous boat. They made a lot of them, and there's quite a group right now who really loves these types of boats, and because of that there's a lot of knowledge available. So right now, just now, I posted on the Elberg 30 Facebook group and showed a video of questions I have. So this is mostly delamination of old paint, so that is not going to be a big job. We talked about that is a drain. The zinc anode is this one, and that is what I need to replace. Always when you haul out, you need to replace that. The two bolts on the back, I need to clean them and see if they're still fully intact, and otherwise replace them. Yeah, and I do still want to check. The people here who I asked said that it looked really fine, but I do want to have someone check this just to make sure. Yeah, and then I have to take out the transducer, put a new one in, and make another through hole because I'm one short. And that's basically it. There's a bit of deforming in my hull over there, like just in front of the first shroud. The shroud is what holds the mast to the boat, then not in the middle, and then a little bit in front of the third. I'm not sure if you can actually see that. So I asked Keith if he can record what was going on so I could ask this in the Elberg 30 forum.
Someone to give you an opinion from the Elberg community, hopefully, on why there's this deep depression right here. It's essentially starts where the forward stay, the secondary stay on the port side is, and it's about that wide, so maybe a foot and a half to 2 feet wide. And then there's the bulkhead where it doesn't have a problem. It's very, very, very stiff here. And then right behind the bulkhead, not quite as deep, but there's another slight depression. So there's a pretty substantial depression here and a light one here, and it's mirrored on the other side of the boat, although this is probably the worst deformation right here. So the question for the community is this a common thing that other people have experienced? I'm not an expert in this boat, but I would think it probably came from inferior support inside and then some rough seas, consistent rough seas over a couple of years, or potentially maybe even in the sling of a haul out before they realized they had a problem, and then someone went inside the boat and then structurally shored it up. But the formation was already potentially done. That's just one theory. If someone else has experience with it, that would be awesome for Hoop, so he could get to know how he should approach repairing this, or if he should repair it.
From the Elberg 30 forum, I quote Gordon. He says, "That's normal in Elberg 30s. Some imperfections were built in, some developed. You'll note the wobbles are in way of internal structures, so bulkheads, chain plate, gussets. I always tell people our boats were well built, but not finely built." That's quite a big relief for me, because I saw quite a big potential expense coming, which is not. Yeah, so a lot of it seems to look really fine about the bottom, so I'm actually really happy with that. Dirkje is going to do laundry.
Oh! It broke.
It broke. Be careful.
I'm on my way to go to do the laundry. As you can see, I didn't do it for a long time again.
She stole my sander. Now I have to do it with that one. This is not how life works. You cannot steal my sander. No, no, no. We've just been advised by a fiberglass guy that works here on the heart to do it by hand with water and use different sanding paper. Apparently for this layer it goes better. Go better.
Am I dirty?
You are. Dirty girl. What is Dirk doing over there? Is she dancing again? We've decided to split up. She's gonna continue with the bottom by hand. I'm gonna continue there. And I just want to say goodbye, sailing vessel Tate Tate. Hello, sailing vessel Limonada. We have a new addition that's going to make my life a lot easier. It's the end of the light. It's the end of Dirk's energy and mine. We got this far. Tomorrow continue. And technically I could continue with light. However, since we're making videos, I also have to sort the footage on the computer, because otherwise it gets a mess. Okay, let's clean up.